Alright, so currently recording this 4:13 a.m. in the morning. And for once I'm going to keep it real. And by real I just mean raw, unfiltered. And yeah. I don't ever expect anyone to see this. That's why I'm willing to just do this all in one take, but VR chat is probably the greatest benefit as well as having been the greatest bane in my life. On one hand, I don't regret a single second of ever having been on this game. But on the other, it's probably caused me more depression and mental health issues than I know what to do with or even know how to deal with. You know, don't get me wrong. Everyone's experience with this is always going to be a bit different, but at least for me personally, it hasn't been the greatest. You know? I started off on VR chat early 2018. I remember just being so bad at trying to start a conversation, hold a conversation. Very single track minded in terms of things that I want to talk about. And, you know, in some aspects, VR chat has been good for me. I've been able to get exposed to a lot more people, wide range of personalities. But at the same time, a lot of my idealisms and faith in humanity it's just gone down the toilet. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think the thing that truly breaks my heart about this game, and was honestly even the main reason why I wanted to do this recording in the first place, is the fact that after 7 years of being on this game platform, meeting dozens, if not hundreds, and I mean hundreds of individuals, I almost feel like I've accomplished nothing. I've been through so many friend groups, so many individuals. And when I say I've gone through a whole bunch of people and groups, you know, I would meet them, form a connection, and then they would just disappear. Now, don't get me wrong, you know, not everyone you meet in life is gonna stay with you. And that was a very hard lesson which I learned early on. But when you feel like your current best friends on a platform are people who you literally barely know, that's not good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got some good friends outside of VRChat, right? But there is only two who I truly click with, and even then, they're not always readily available. And unfortunately for me, I am very much of a not antisocial butterfly, but I don't have much of a reason to go outside. I can't just, really go out somewhere to socialize. That's just, it's not the kind of person who I am. I've I've had multiple interests in individuals or crushes, if you would want to call it that, with individuals on this game. Each one ending up, in disaster. As, crush, there's a reason it's called a crush. But that's just me taking a line off the internet. But it always just ends the same way. Whether it be a crush or just someone who I'm trying to form a connection with. I join on them. I try to form some sort of connection. And then, for one reason or another, they just end up disappearing. And the best analogy I can give is that it feels like I'm watching something the equivalent of, I don't know, Netflix. I'm on a platform the equivalent of Netflix, where I keep seeing the same sort of show over and over again. Names change, locations change. Yeah, sure, the plot varies bit by bit here and there, but the overall premise remains the same. There's no variety to it. And after a while it just gets tiring. Like, I used to binge VRChat day in and day out, to the point where I would hop on literally every day and sleep in VRChat every single night. And I did that for easily 3-4 years. But now it's a struggle to get on. And it's not that the game itself is bad. When you don't have people who you're connected with, when you don't have connections in terms of something, unless you're completely fine just spending time by yourself, it gets really hard to sometimes play said game or go to said thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm just the one who has the issue, but as someone who has spent most of their life, or at least at this point, half their life. Actually, no. At this point, it's 2/3 of their life. Spoiler alert, 30 going on 31 in a couple weeks. But as someone who's spent at this point 2/3 of their life being antisocial and trying to rectify that, which I have done in some ways. Fortunately, thanks to a very good friend of mine who lives on the West Coast. But when you spend 2/3 of your life being antisocial and you just want and desire human connection because, hey, welcome to being human. We're social creatures. We crave and desire human connection. That's the reason friendships exist. That's the reason, we seek out partnerships. Because we're looking to be with other people. We're looking to belong to a community or a small group of peers. But yeah, no, it gets tiring. And right now, I'm just kind of debating how much longer I can keep this up. I love VR. I love the technology. I really do. And I wish I could be on this game more often. I would like to be on it more often. But after 7 years and just having over 8,000 hours without people to make memories with and just spend time with, it's getting hard to kind of just justify it. As I said earlier, not that I'm ever expecting anyone to watch or even find this, but if you do, the one thing I would like to recommend and advise: enjoy and cherish every moment that you can with people who you care about. Because in the span of a single second, minute, hour, day, that can all change, and you could lose something that helps bring fulfillment to your life. I don't know if I'm gonna do another one of these, but we'll see. Until next time, if there is one.